information security governance processes. Okay, so this is a topic of subject cloud computing for business, and the subject code is KMBIT-03. So this is a reference that you may refer for further study about the topic. Like this is a good blog, and first is your textbook that you may refer for further study, and you may access some other web resources also for the topic. Okay. So what is basically governance means the rules for governing something basically. Okay. So we are discussing this information security governance processes means how to deal with or how to govern information security in your organization. Means you should protect your information from outside world or from external threats. Okay, so basically we will talk about what should be your governing procedure. Okay, so that is governance. So what is information security governance? Basically, cyber security and hackers attack are among the top concern of that organizations worldwide face today. Nowadays, if you talk about security, so security is of utmost challenge in this cloud-based environment or cloud-based information system security. Okay, so as I have told earlier in that challenges of cloud environment. Okay, so we have seen that most of the respondents have considered it as a top priority, means security basically. So cybersecurity starts in the corporate boardroom, and good information security governance is the real all-encompassing solution to the cyber problem. Okay, so according to the National Institute of Standard Technology (NIST), information security governance involves establishing and maintaining a framework to provide assurance that information security strategies are aligned with and support business objectives, are consistent with applicable laws and regulations through adherence to policies and internal controls, and provide assignment of responsibility, all in an effort to manage risk. Basically, if you talk about security, so security is like quality, maintaining quality. Similarly, security is also need attention of all the stakeholder of your organization. Okay, so you should involve everybody in this process. Means you should through the guidelines to your employees as well as staff or all the stakeholders. Okay, and you should properly train them time to time so that they should be aware about what are the various security threats. Okay, like in this pandemic situation, a lot many cyber attacks are there. Okay, and government have issued advisory to the common people. Okay, and like banks are also giving advisories to common people through SMS, through messages, or through displaying paper notice on the wall of banks also. So these are basically as a part of this information security governance. Okay, so information security governance essentially encompasses good risk management, robust reporting controls, comprehensive testing and training, and steadfast corporate accountability. So all these comes under the category of information security governance. Means you should encompass good risk management strategy, robust reporting control should be there. Means who will report to whom. Okay, and comprehensive testing should be there for all the loopholes that are available in your cloud enabled system, and proper training of staff as well as employee as well as all the stakeholders should be there, and steadfast corporate accountability should be there. Means who will be responsible or who will be accountable in different scenario. Okay, so it provides strategic direction of cyber security activities and ensures that the cyber security objectives laid out by an organization are achieved. Okay, so this is about security governance. So a good information security governance process can transform an organization and bring one or more of the following cyber security dividends. Like first is structured, focused, and prioritized allocation of time, money, and efforts. Okay, means you should put uh, uh, schedule, or you should put a proper budget and efforts, means basically resources over there, allocate resources to the activities basically. So structured, focus and prioritize the allocation of, in terms of time, in terms of money, and in terms of efforts you have taken. Okay, next, better compliance with the organization's information security policy. Okay, means if you have taken a ready-made standard, like I have told that ISO 27000 is for information security. So if you have deployed that, so you should have better compliance with the organization's information security policy. Okay, better predictability and lesser uncertainty would be there, means you should systematize the process. Okay, next is better decision making, that is structured based, than opinion based. Okay, so means you should prepare a decision making process like structured based, means when such type of incident would be there, then in that scenario what would be the countermeasure. Okay, so that should be structured based, not opinion based, means in that case you are getting opinion of expert and other player. No, not like that. You should decide a proper structured based approach to deal with such type of scenarios. Okay, so more ammunition in terms of due diligence performed by the organization leads to a better stand when faced with the legal consequences. Okay, and clear accountability and better information protection should be there. So that are some good practices that you need to deploy to ensure the better information security governance in your organization. Okay, so how should be your cybersecurity framework? So a good cybersecurity framework's primary focus includes familiarize and harmonize cybersecurity approaches and provide a common language. Okay, so you should decide and familiarize and harmonize the cybersecurity approaches and make it available for everyone. Okay, so provide it in a common language. Okay, establish the optimum level of cybersecurity tailored to the organization's specific environment and needs. Okay, means you should automate it, or you should draft it as per the need of your organization. Okay, and allocate a sufficient cybersecurity budget towards the implementation of the framework. Okay, like in perspective of country, we are allocating some defense budget. Now similarly, in case of organization, you should have some cyber security budget over there to mitigate the risk of such type of security related incidences that may put in danger to your business processes basically. Okay, so effectively impart knowledge of cyber risk to top management. Okay, so basically you should make proper communication to your top management regarding various risk situations regarding this protection of information of your organization. So effectively impart knowledge of cyber risk to top management. Okay, so NIST, as I have told earlier, that they have drafted a cybersecurity framework for to adopt various companies. Okay, so that is National Institute of Standard and Technology. NIST cybersecurity framework is an internationally recognized policy framework that provides a strong foundation atop which good information security governance can be built. Okay, so it helps organization to improve their ability to prevent, detect, and respond to cyber attack. Means if you adopt this cyber security framework, you may put all the dangers associated with such type of security risk. Okay, so the NIST cyber security framework's core structure include: first step is identify, second is protect, third is detect, fourth is respond, and fifth is recover. Okay, so we will discuss it one by one. First is identify. So as a part of identify function, an organization should aim to understand the business context that it's operate in. Okay, so what is the most critical function of organizations that you should decide? Okay, and what are the resources that are absolutely critical for the popular function of each of these areas? Okay, and what are the cybersecurity risks that pose threats to these critical functions and their seamless operations? Means you are continuously working or maintaining your business process related database. So, what are the various security threats that are occurring, and what are the impact of those security threats that you should list over there? Okay, so you should identify and you should list over there. So, with these questions asked, an organization develops an understanding of how it can effectively manage the specific cybersecurity risk that it faces. Okay, so you should identify first what are the various risk scenarios that may occur in with your organization, and what would be the frequency and impact of those risk scenarios. Okay. Next is protect. Okay, so as a part of protect function, an organization should aim to contain the impact of threats that can materialize and harm the operation of its most critical functions. Okay, so an organization can do this effectively by employing cyber security safeguards and protections to ensure that its critical function can continue to deliver. Means you should adopt this protect function, and that should aim to contain the impacts of threat. Means what should be the implication of those security threats that can materialize and harm the operation, up to what level or up to what context. Okay, so its most critical functions you should identify and prevent a protection mechanism over there. Okay, protect and then detect. Okay, detect what? Loopholes basically. So as a part of detect function, an organization should aim to detect adverse cybersecurity incident in a timely manner. Okay, suppose some of your computer is also facing some cybersecurity problems. So I think before means taking this scenario as a case, and you should adopt proper security mechanism for your organization also. So in order to achieve this, an organization should employ detective and monitoring control that take into consideration threat inputs from well-known and reputable sources, as well as the organization's own custom alerts and input. As I have told earlier, that nowadays in this pandemic era, so most of the banks and most of the government institutions are putting advisory. Even if you listen this FM, so most of the FM channels are also giving advisory time to time to their listeners basically. Okay, so what is this basically? To make aware to all the people regarding such type of threats that are occurring nowadays. Okay, so basically detect. Okay, identify what are the loopholes in your system and how to protect it. Okay, so respond. If you identified some or detected some defects or loopholes or bugs, then respond for that. Means as a part of respond function, an organization should aim to contain the impact of adverse cybersecurity incidents that have been detected by the organization, and organizations should look at strengthening its cybersecurity incident response strategy and capabilities in order to achieve this. Means you should have a immediate response team, or you should respond it immediately, or make some people responsible for taking action immediately. Okay, so that is basically a respond strategy. So that you should decide if you have or if you have detected some such type of incident, then what should be your response to that incident. Okay. Next is recover. So what is recover? As a part of recover function, an organization should aim to recover and restore the organization to normal operation after an adverse cybersecurity incident has occurred and its threat has been dealt with. So you should prepare a recovery strategy. Basically, I have talked about disaster recovery planning and business continuity planning. If some disaster occurs, then how will you recover from that disaster? And business continuity is basically in case of some disaster, how will you means making your business in continuous function. Okay, so basically that is business continuity planning. Okay, so that you should decide. So an organization can achieve this by investing it in its resilience capabilities and recovery planning. So that you should decide. So these are this is basically an NIST cyber security framework, so that you should adopt. So what is best practices information security governance? Okay, so organizations aiming to implement good information security governance can look to the following best practices for guidance. This is some checklist that you should adopt to maintain a good information security governance practices. Okay. So the organization must develop a comprehensive information security policy which must encompass all critical and necessary cybersecurity areas and critical functions across the organization. Okay, so the focus of policy documentation must be technical, physical, and administrative. As I have told earlier, you should systematize this process. Okay, not idea based type of policy should be there. Means in some incident you are taking idea of your experts or some other person, so that would not be best practices. In this case, means you should form a proper system to deal with such type of incidents. Okay, the organization must define clear roles and responsibility which are coordinated and aligned with internal job function and external partners. Okay, so these roles and responsibilities must then be enforced by the organization's policies and procedures. Okay, means you should make proper roles and responsibility, or you should deliver proper roles and responsibility, or make accountable to some person. Okay, your IT staff to deal with such type of incidences. Okay, next is employees of organization, including all level of management, must be trained and made aware of their role and responsibility. As I have told earlier, you should make all people aware regarding such type of activities and how to deal with. Means so that anybody in earlier phase can deal with such type of activity. Okay, the organization should treat information security governance as an enterprise-wide issue that is risk-based and an inherent business requirement. Okay, so organizations should treat information security governance as enterprise-wide issues. Okay, as I have told earlier, if you are dealing with department-wise or function-wise, then it will not be effective. So you should deal this type of threat as enterprise-wide issue. Okay, next is corporate management must be engaged, accountable, and willing to commit adequate resources to implementing good information security governance. Okay, the organization commits to a development life cycle that is well planned and develops specific measurables matrices that are tracked and reported to the top management on a periodic basis. Plans, strategies, and practices must be updated ongoing and based on the performance metrics and their result. Means you should continuously measure your performance. What is performance? Basically, what are the expected outcome and what are the actual outcome? Is there any gap in between? So that is performance deviation. Okay, so that you should identify, check your performance, and should adopt the strategy to mitigate such type of gaps in your performance area. Okay, filter it, plan for that, make a strategy and practices, and continuously update those practices. Okay, because the threats are continuously updating. Okay, so, cyber threats are also continuously updating. So the organization must ensure that legal and regulatory requirements are kept inside and incorporated at all the time. Okay, so these are some best practices that you should adopt while dealing with this information security governance. So thank you. These are some references that you may refer for further study. If you have some doubt or query, you may ask. Thank you.